Professor Choy has entered the classroom.
Hello.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Noonchi Podcast. We're here.
I'm trying to dress better because of the last time we talked about, Although I'm wearing tight-fitting clothes again. I don't. But then
They weren't tight before. Were they always tight, or
all my clothes are pretty like form fit, or what do you call it? Slim fit. And so I can't do much about that. But I have refrained from wearing plaid.
You took it to heart?
Yeah, I was gonna wear plaid today.
I'm wearing a hoodie.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Just go fuck yourself.
So today I'm wearing. I'm a little bit like, I have my jacket, my cord jacket.
This is a very old reference, but you have like that Saved by the Bell, the college ears professor look.
Mr. Belding?
No, that's
that's
the principal. And then your haircut, my friend.
Oh yeah, I got a haircut.
Yeah. Jimmy Oltron.
So I've been styling my hair this way, like sort of like a rhinoceros. So my son.
What the fuck is a rhinoceros?
My son's hair is like this every morning, or all the time for that matter. So I thought it'd be funny to kind of do my hair like his one day, and then I just thought it was kind of cool. They do like a couple T-shirts and stuff. I thought I'll do
couple haircut.
Yeah, a couple haircut.
All right, nice, very. And you check off the sweet father box once again in this episode. So this weekend we started
live shows.
It's been we took a break for about 3 months.
Yeah.
And so it's been a long time.
I feel bad for you guys
since we performed. First of all, big thank you to, there were some, as we used to call them, Noonkops.
Oh yeah,
our Noonchi Podcast fans.
Noonkops from Spoon?
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
They were there?
No. I mean, meaning Noonchi, avid watchers of Noonchi Podcast. They were there at the show.
Oh,
a few of them were. So thank you guys for coming.
Oh, nice.
Because
sorry I wasn't there.
They were like, oh 팬이에요, and I was like, oh, 네 감사합니다. And they're like, 저 눈치 팟캐스트 자주 봐요. I was like, what the fuck? Well, why? Why? Right? So,
to learn bad English.
It was sold out.
Yeah.
And it felt great to go back. I felt a little rusty. I had a few new jokes that I was planning on telling. But one, I pussied out. Number two, like, in my mind, I was like, okay, I'm going to start telling the new jokes now. And then they lit me. It was time to get off stage. Really? Okay. Right? So you got 5 minutes left. So I'm not going to.
Yeah, you're not try out new material at the
end. Yeah.
You're set. You were doing okay.
Yeah, I was doing great.
Okay,
so
nice.
So the energy was going great. And all of a sudden, you know what I mean? I don't want it to be people be like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, I know this is Korea and they're used to fucked up endings in movies and shit like that. They make you go home going, what the fuck was that? But I'm an American, so I decided to just.
It sucks that you have to work out material at shows that at advertised shows.
Yeah.
I mean, normally comedians just work out their material without being on the bill, right? We're just like doing a late spot.
They're on the bill, but it's not like obviously I wasn't headlining. You know what I mean?
But you were the closing act, right?
Like. In comedy terms, a headlining act would probably do 45 plus.
Okay.
Right.
How long did you do?
About 25, 30.
Okay.
So, there was new material that I knew wasn't going to work. In my mind, I go, there's no real punchline to this.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And it's kind of more like, I don't want to say political, but it's kind of me talking about like, I don't get why. I want to talk about, like, for example, like weed.
Oh,
right.
Tricky.
Right. No, but okay. So what I'm saying is when I say weed or temacho, right? Like all of you, like majority of you go, oh my God.
Yeah.
The devil. Mayak.
Yeah.
And I go, but well, like, why do you think, like, who put that in your head that this is that bad, right? You know? And if you go, it's the government, I'm like, I mean, you know,
we felt that way for a very long time until it was legalized.
I didn't feel,
most people.
Yeah. I didn't feel like that when it was legalized. You know what I mean?
I mean, for me growing up at church,
Yeah.
definitely. I mean, we used to demonize cigarettes, let alone like weed. It was like
Yeah, but I mean,
big no.
I mean, for me, it's not even that though. Like like, okay, so to me, what's legal and illegal is not a marker for whether or not it's morally good or bad.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, personally, like, just because somebody said one country says this is illegal, doesn't mean that it's morally bad. I think it's for other factors, right? So basically the idea was, okay, let's say the government says weed is bad in Korea, and it is illegal, right?
Yeah.
Might as well do fucking heroin. It's the same shit, right?
If you're gonna get caught,
right. Yeah.
it's all the same category.
So I go, but let's talk about weed, right?
Yeah.
You hear that it's bad, the devil, right?
Yeah.
But why? Because the government says, like, it's the same government that goes, all right, now you have to close at 8. No, now you can close at 10. No, now you could. You know what? 4 people can meet. No, you know what? Now 6 people can meet. Oh, now 8 people can meet. I'm like, Korean people shit on those decisions.
Yeah.
Be like, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You know? Oh, there's social distancing, but we ride on buses and subways that are fucking packed to the brim. Like
I see where the bit's going.
Yeah. So I go, that's that you complain about and say that's crazy, but then this you know, like, you believe. And then, you know, some people go, oh, well, you know, my parents, my grandparents, you know, whatever. I go, look, man, I love my grandma, but my grandma also told me don't trust chalado people, right? You know what I mean? So meaning her word isn't 100% Bible either. You know what I mean? So I go, y'all need to kind of just do your research, you know?
Yeah. So you were gonna, so you passed on telling that bit,
like those types of bits, like, you know, like how you know, people blame the Korean president for housing to be so high.
Oh, the housing,
And I go, what?
The real estate market,
Yeah, like, that's not his fault. You know? And, you know, I wanted to be like, let's say this phone I bought 3 years ago for $500. Now I want to sell it for $1,000. And people are want to buy it. What, I can't sell it for $1,000, right? And the person like you're next to me, you see me sell it for for a profit. But shit, I'm gonna sell my phone too.
Yeah,
and everyone's gonna start selling it, right? The president can't be like, yo, no more selling old phones, yo. You got to sell them at the price you bought it at or lower. Like, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? It's economics. It's capitalism, right? So that's what I want to say is like, you guys are like, but it's not just Korea. You know how much fuck Trump, fuck Biden I've heard? You know what I mean? Like, because of whatever, right? You know?
So it's never ending. Sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like the president's main job isn't to be a president or be a politician.
Yeah, someone's always going to shit on them.
Yeah, you need to be the toilet for everyone's hardships, right?
Yeah.
You know? And then, you know, and I go, look, man, a little known side effect for the vaccination is gout. And I got a gout flare up, you know? And the callback is I talk about the Busan taxi driver that shit. That
yeah, that's funny.
And that's what I'm going to curse out the president because he's the reason why I got gout, because that's a side effect for, you know what I mean? Just like the whatever. Anyway, those type of stuff, I know it's not going to work. I haven't worked it out in my head, but I need to work it out on stage.
So you played the classics or the bits, you know, that are gonna work because you have 5 minutes left.
I mean, the only kind of new one I did was regarding like playing the polite game in Korea. You know what I mean? You know, like where.
Oh no! I'll pay for this.
Yeah.
No, I got this. It's
Mutang. Yeah, especially like on the bus, right? The first time I got here, and I saw an older woman come up and said, "Oh, 여기 앉으세요."
Yeah.
And then she said, "Oh, 괜찮아," right?
Yeah.
But in Korea, there's a rule of 3,
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah.
But I'm an American, so I said, "Oh, 괜찮아요?" Because 나곧 내릴 거예요, right? I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, 그래요?" And I just sat down, right?
Yeah.
She had 2 more like rejection bullets like loaded that wasn't coming out.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I made her swallow them bullets. She was like, she just swallowed it, right?
That's funny.
And then I go, why? You know, and then somebody said that you fight like that to show that you really want to give the seat away. Right? And I was like, I really don't want to give the seat away. I want to sit comfortably. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
You know? Why do I have to be not only a nice guy, but also a body friend salesman? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
어머니, 여기, this is a nice, new, clean, 푹신푹신한 chair. Like, yo, fuck up.
Speaking of the bus, I took the bus this weekend with the kid and the family. Because church is open again. So we take the bus to church. And these new bus, we got on like the newest like iPhone 13 bus, right?
Okay. How many megapixels?
So they have a standing area, but more something that's really cool is they have USB. You can plug in your USB cable to charge your phone now.
Right.
Like at most seats and even in the standing areas, you can plug it in.
Right.
I thought that was cool. So I plugged it in and let my kid watch YouTube because he saw the phone. Because I wanted to try it. It's like, oh man, when he sees the phone, he won't shut up until you let him play with it or something. So, anyway,
so you're still kind of on the fence about discipline.
Well. When it comes to having the kid in public, like on a bus, and if he's screaming bloody murder on the bus, then I'll pull out the phone. I'll let him win.
There is
it's just, oh man, it's so difficult.
There is I saw this like randomly. My YouTube algorithm's fucked up, right? So there is a condom ad from some European country, right?
Okay.
Where it's a dad and his son at a supermarket, and the son puts something that he wants to eat in the cart. The dad says no and puts it back. The son gets it, puts it back in.
Yeah,
he puts it back. Dad's like, don't do that, we're gonna go. And the son throws like a crazy ass tantrum, right? And then the tag is, you should have used a condom.
That's funny. I should just make a bunch of condom commercials. That could work on the Korean bus.
Yeah. And so it was like a reaction channel, right? Where there was like Koreans reacting to because Koreans don't have Korean condom commercials, right? So,
You know what we should do? We should make condoms with, let's say, Noonchi Podcast on it, right? Or if you have a show coming up, you put the information on there, and every time my kid has a hissy fit in public, I'll just start throwing condoms at it. So, 여러분 이거 꼭 쓰세요. Don't end up like me. That's some good advertising.
Yeah, but then some people, like, I think parents would get the joke, but like non-parents that think that, like, everything's life is so grand and amazing and you shouldn't do that, will think you're a bad parent.
Yeah.
But like parents who have kids will be like, yep. like, you know what I'm saying?
I'm always on the parent side now when I see like a kid having a tantrum. Before I used to be annoyed and be like, oh gosh, can you please take care of your kid? Kind of thing.
Right.
Never now.
Right.
I'm always like, there's I forget what it was. I think it was Louis. He was saying like, whenever he sees a kid or like a parent really upset, and people are like, "Oh my gosh,
shut up and eat your fucking fries," or is that bit right?
What the fuck did that kid do to you?
So like the show went fantastic.
Great. Sold out.
Although, see, you know how like the curfew, quote unquote, was lifted on the 1st, which is today, right?
Oh, so you had to end by 10.
So we had to end by 10. Yeah. So we couldn't like go out and party or whatever, right? Because it was Halloween weekend, right?
It was a Saturday, right? Oh,
but nobody parties on a Sunday. Well, I mean,
were people dressed up at your show?
Only one person was.
One person out of 99?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
there's like a...
that's what happened. good times, and I'm going to continue to perform.
Did that person dress up as a sheep? Like the one.
He dressed up as a ojingo game guard.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay.
Which is obviously going to be the costume of the year, because
the lazy costume.
Yeah, because people, it's easy. Once I saw ojingo game and how it like became like a phenomenon, I was like, there it is. That's the costume. Like immediately I called it, right? But speaking of the stand-up, so our company runs a channel called Funny Videos Korea, basically where they subtitle Korean,
stand-up
US
comedy.
stand-up, but Korean subtitles on it, right?
Yeah.
So this past weekend, one of my old clips came on.
Yeah, that's right. We put up one of your old clips.
Right. I was sans beard.
Yeah.
And
no hat.
No hat.
No
beanie. No beanie, no nothing. Yeah. And I was like, it was bad. You know what I mean? It was a bad golf course up top.
Go check it out.
Right.
It's one click away if you're on YouTube right now. Just look, Funny Videos Korea.
Yeah, and so it looked like a bad golf course. A lot of divots, like a lot of empty. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And so like relatively favorable comments, but there was a lot of comments going, "You should just shave it," right? And you can't leave like a picture comment, right? Because I wanted to. Yeah. Because I was like, I did last year, motherfucker. It's I'm gone.
Older clip of you at the Laugh Factory.
Yes. It was part of a show that we did called The Kings of K-Town. And so check it out. But yeah, there was a lot of that. You know what's interesting about, like, it don't hurt my feelings, but like, when you're under the protection of anonymity, you get to say wild shit. Yeah, because you don't feel bad, right? So it's like I was talking about basically like it's an old bit about how like what I think true love sounds like for a guy, right? You know what I mean? Yeah. And some comments like, this guy looks like he's never had sex, to like, like blah, 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 like some fat ugly guy, what a nerd, like, you know what I mean? Like those kind of comments. Okay. And the ones that made me laugh was the bunch of the people go, hey man, just shave it. Just shave it. You know what I mean? I was like, 벌써 했어 이 새끼들아. So yeah, that's stand-up comedy is starting. I don't know how long it'll last again, because now I'm like, this is the third time it started, picked up steam, stopped, started, picked up steam. So like I'm not like fully on board in terms of like, all right, this is a brand new thing. Like I'm just kind of like, let's slowly just.
I'm still scared. Like
chug away.
Last week things were looking better in terms of the COVID numbers. It was going down and it was pretty steady, and then it just shot back up again. Yeah. Right. It's going, but the government had already said that it's gonna go easy on the rules of gathering and curfews. No more curfews. Right.
I mean, because ultimately, all small business owners are getting fucked. Yeah. Have been getting fucked. Oh yeah. Right. You know what I mean? And then so like Korean citizens, like I don't know, but like every now and again they'll get like $250 as their kind of like whatever stimulus, right? And like $250 don't go anywhere. Like in the US you got back in the days, I think like 1,200 like once or twice, right?
Oh yeah. Right? Yeah, more than that. Oh yeah,
per person, right? Right. But I go that doesn't go a long way. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so it's not enough. Yeah, you can't, like, what's that gonna do really? And so I think and on top of that, I think people are like, all right, fuck this. I think they've hit the fuck this point, because I saw pictures of Halloween at Itaewon, and it was like,
I saw that too,
and I was like, "Ooh!"
It's like, oh my gosh, we're headed straight back.
Let's get to 3,000, baby.
We're headed straight back to
No,
Oh
but
my
like
gosh.
there were parties everywhere. Gangnam. There were parties in like
Halloween weekend.
yeah, Uchiro. There were like my trainer,
Mhm.
my PT trainer is also a DJ, and he had to DJ a party in Uchiro.
Okay.
And he was like, "Was there a lot of people?" Like, it's fucking packed over there.
Dag. I mean, church was packed.
Yeah.
Like,
So
actually, they did say I did show up to church, and we thought that both parents can go into service, but they says only one of you can come.
oh shit, it's
So-
AB over there.
And I was like, it's not gonna be me because.
Right.
So my wife, like, I feel bad, but I ended up at a cafe nearby, just waiting it out, and then, yeah, By the way, this background today, we went with a very weird color. It looks like rainbow sorbet.
Yeah, it looks like one of them ice creams that you left in the sun.
What were those push pops? You remember push pops?
Mm-hmm.
They have something like that here, right? Oh, actually, they don't have push pops.
They don't have push pops.
Yeah,
And that flavor don't exist here.
oh yeah.
They're not into sour ice cream. But speaking of church, so one of the our Noonchi Podcast fans DM me saying, give me an update on the girl that I did not get the phone number.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I acquired her phone number
Mm-hmm.
and we were chatting. She came to the show.
Oh yeah.
And I said, hey, let's drink some more.
Yeah. After the show.
After the show and after 10, illegally.
Okay.
Like, you know what I mean? Let's drink some more. She said, no, I can't. And I was like, why? And then she goes, oh, I have to go to church tomorrow. And I was like,
So she didn't want to break the law because of her
no,
conscience?
not the law, because she lives far
Uh-huh.
and she has to go to church tomorrow.
Oh, she wants enough rest for
right,
church.
right.
Oh, that's
So I was
Responsible
a part of
adult.
me was like, yeah, whatever. Like, this is kind of like the Korean equivalent of like, sorry, I'm busy. I got to wash my hair. Like, like kind of whatever, right?
no, or maybe she's trying to, portray somebody that you would more than likely bring home to your mom.
Well,
so
because like you should never judge a book by its cover, but she has a very like Koreans call it kyopo look,
Oh, really?
like kind of darker, stronger makeup.
oh,
You know what I
based
mean?
on her shade of makeup.
Yeah. And like that kind of look, right? So I looked at her and I was like, you saying that you got to go to church tomorrow is like saying I'm gonna go vegan tomorrow.
Oh,
Right?
did she?
That's
did
what
she
I
laugh?
thought. That's what I told her. She's like, "That's fucked up." And I was like, "Why? There's vegans that look like this." Right? And she's like, "Okay." And then the next morning,
Uh-huh.
she sends me a picture of her at church.
Oh,
Right.
That's awesome.
Right. And then I went, "What the fuck you doing taking pictures during yebe? Fucking focus on the yebe." Yeah. So we're hanging out,
Yeah.
chilling.
Nice.
But
I like how that. I like how that's panning out.
yeah. But in the words of Tezon, you're right. Because I lost that opportunity
That first night. Yeah.
I need to put in some effort,
Yeah.
some oomph. So
Well,
time to
I'm rooting for you, man. Like,
so it's not related, but I'm gonna try to make it related. The segue. So like obviously, I'm not gonna get plastic surgery, but I'm gonna try to do little things here and there to try to improve my appearance, right?
for her, or for just in general.
Just in general, right?
Okay.
But like now I have a better excuse, right?
I mean, you haven't. You already shaved your head last year.
Right. But that's why, like, I've although I kind of cheated a lot this weekend, but like minimal boozing, been eating the salads. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
And I've been slimming down. I could see it.
Yeah. Totally. You've been PTing or working out.
Yes.
I definitely can tell.
Yeah. And now I was like, what else should I do? So I decided to buy an electric toothbrush.
Oh. I thought you were going to say something else.
No, because like I've never had an electric toothbrush in my life.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
And I was curious, is this more effective?
Was it a notable brand?
Oral-B.
Oral-B, okay.
You know, that's
They used to be so expensive that it really took a lot of decision making.
It's $25.
Now they've gone down in price. Yeah.
But it gave me one head.
Only one head. Oh, so you don't get a replacement. So the replacements are often more expensive, like when you're shaving with the Gillette shavers. It's the replacement heads that get you. It's like, what? It costs how much to replace these?
So like, I've never tried it. And, you know, I'm assuming in my mind, this is possibly, if done right, would be more effective than a regular manual toothbrush, right? And have you had an electric toothbrush?
I did in college, but like I didn't want to buy more. Like back then, it was you had to replace it, and it just cost too much. So I remember I just went through one cycle, and somebody gave it to me. Right, so I went through one cycle and then I just gave up after because I couldn't afford to replace it.
So I for about a week and a half, I don't know if it made a difference, but I can feel less kind of griminess in the mouth.
Okay,
right. But
what about the breath? Is it? Would you say it's improved your?
No. I don't
gingivitis.
think I don't think that's helped.
You got to get the tongue. That's where most of the
Yes, I have a tongue scraper.
Scraper helps.
Yes. But first week, always blood.
Oh, a lot of blood. Do you floss?
Once a week.
Once a week. Okay.
Once a week.
All right. Well, I'm one of those bleeders when I floss. So actually, let me know how the electric toothbrush works out for you because I've been thinking about getting one as well. I'm going to the dentist this week, so I'm actually gonna figure that out. Maybe ask them as well. Also, I don't know if it's gonna be an improvement or not, but I'm going to the PM doctor, for my deviated septum. It came back. Right, so I'm going back for a checkup on Friday, but my wife and I decided, their original plan was to give me a nose job, to raise my nose, to give myself more room to breathe. Right, I mean that was they're like that's one way to battle age, because the older you get, like just things start to fill in, right? And so if they recommend it again, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get my nose straightened and lift it a little bit.
No, see, like, okay, now, if you're going to go through a nose job. And I never gave you my point of view when you were about to get it the last time.
Okay. I chickened out by the last time.
Yeah, why don't you, like, instead of just straightening it out and making the passageways bigger.
Yeah.
Why don't you just get like a fucking brand new nose? Like what's that's a good nose. Like would you get an Adrian Brody nose? Adrian Brody got that like
isn't that the
pianist nose.
Yeah, he's got a great
he got that toucan Sam. He got this going on. You know?
I mean, if it was like I do have a little bit like of vanity in my blood, where I'm hoping I look. I don't. I'm gonna look like weird. Osake, or how do you say that in English?
Weird.
Okay.
Yeah, you said.
So I'm afraid of that. Like, I don't want people to think, oh, Bobby cares about his look, so he's trying to make himself look better. It really is for the purpose of breathing better. But hey, what if I do look better because of it? I'll take it.
Okay.
You know, maybe that's the one thing that's held me back from selling albums. I'm just kidding.
Because I'm gonna be like, if I was a stranger that didn't know, and then I'd be like, oh my god, how vain! He got a nose job, so Korean. But then the second thing would be, but then why just his nose?
Man, dude. So, man. So on Friday, I'm going to go do that in the morning. And then I have a full body checkup right after that. Because I'm taking that day off, I'm doing everything that day.
You're not supposed to eat the day before, right?
Yeah. Or drink.
Oh.
So I have to do the nose thing in the morning, get consultation, get ready for whether or not I'm going to go through with it. Do my full body checkup. No colonoscopy this time. But they said I can't eat that night or drink, and I have to take some sort of medicine. Yeah. And then after that, I'm going to get some moles removed.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Because they said don't do it in the summer for some reason because of the sweat and all that. So when it's cooler out, you should get it. And then I'm going, I had a bad root canal done from my old dentist. So I'm going to a new dentist and they're going to hopefully fix my.
Oh, you're going to get everything.
That whole day is going to just be like Novocained up. I'm going to be like.
In terms of the moles, right?
Yeah.
There's a thing called kwansang, right? Kwansang in Korean, basically what it means is that like, it's a science of your face, right? Like. So, for example, it's really.
Is it connected to acupuncture and then there's all these lines and?
No, it's more like kind of it's superstition really, in my opinion.
Okay.
There's no science behind it, but it's kind of like don't remove moles that are at certain parts of your face because that is good luck.
Oh, really? Like I had this really big one that my mother used to call my beauty mark. But I'm not going to get rid of that one because it might be too dangerous, actually.
No, I mean, but they're saying that like there are certain things, like there's certain moles that you shouldn't remove at certain parts of your body.
Okay.
Or certain parts of like, I forget, it was on the eyelid or something, or on the face.
Okay.
But that was never discussed amongst you and your in-laws and wife. Like, we should keep that one, should take that one, like, you know what I mean? Like,
just at one point, I remember I was like, hey, let's just see how many I have. And we started counting, and then we didn't even finish. We were like, all right, you got to get rid of some of those. Like, I have a lot. Like, yeah. And so I just want to get rid of, like, the main offenders. Like whenever I watch a close-up of myself on, like, some, like, recently I did a performance for a festival, called I think it's called Luch Fest or LUC Fest in Taiwan, and then I did a performance for them, and there's a close-up shot of like really close up, and I'm just like, oh gosh, my moles are just
mole.
Yeah. So I figure, like, let's try it. I might as well. I've always talked about it, so I'll get rid of some of them.
Were you self-conscious of your moles?
Not really, but then I figure maybe if I'm ever gonna do some sort of improvement physically, I should do it now while I'm up for it. You
Gotcha.
know, right now I don't really have the energy to be like indie and like, like
love me for me and my
too
flaws.
Good for yeah, I don't know. What I'm talking about.
So after the show, I had an interesting conversation with the owner of the comedy club. And I think it pertains to both of us and people in arts, right? Because he used to, he kind of still does rap, but like he makes money by like, like making events and like, creating events for performances and shit like that. And so sometimes people will, because he's been in the hip hop game for so long, they'll ask him to go book a big name rapper.
I see.
You know what I mean? He probably gets like a finder's fee or whatever,
right?
He's got an agent's fee.
A network.
Yeah.
So, right.
So here is the thought that I was like, I've been saying that, but a lot of the kids these days don't listen to me because they're like, what is this old guy know? I don't know. But So because like in Korea, like trot is so big, like when a big company like Samsung or whatever, they throw some sort of festival or event, they're dishing out a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like 20K, 30K to like these trot singers. So a lot of these, not just trot singers, but like these entertainers think that's how much they're worth.
Yeah.
In terms of that's an inflated number. And people don't realize that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The better number is if you do a solo concert, how many people will pay what amount to see your show?
Yeah.
That is your real value.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
And he goes, it's surprisingly not that many people in Korea can sell out 1,000 seats.
I see.
Right.
Yeah.
You know? And so don't think just because like you have some credits or whatever that you deserve 5K per showing.
Right.
Unless you can make that with your own fans.
I see.
Because I was talking to like, we work in the YouTube game, right?
Yeah.
And there's some creators that have more than 1 million followers. But I guarantee you they won't sell out 500 seats.
Okay.
In Korea. Because they're not fans. They're just, to me, a subscriber isn't a fan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A thumbs up isn't a fan.
Sure, yeah.
Right, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's hard to equate.
Right.
Yeah.
To me, a real fan is someone that will support beyond just a thumbs up, right? Or a comment. It'll be like, and that's why I was telling Komiko, I was like, he has like almost 500,000 subscribers, but he put on his community tab on YouTube, I'm performing these 2 days. Come check me out. Sold out within the day.
Oh, but those are, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
They're not like, it's not crazy numbers, but it's at least 100.
Right. 100.
So 200. Right. And I go, bro, you got to have an hour.
Yeah.
So that you can do your own show.
And get that.
And really capitalize on it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Sell fucking merch.
Yeah.
And things like that. He's like, you think they'll buy it? They bought your shitty book, stupid. You know what I mean? And so like
you gave him some Keseki shirts, right?
Yes.
Or a shirt.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. That'd be awesome if you could be like on his community tab. Hey guys.
Or whatever. I mean, even if he wears it live on his, because he does like a regular live YouTube.
Oh,
show.
YouTube live streaming.
Yeah.
Thing?
He does it like maybe 3 times a week. So.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, and then you can tip on there, right?
Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah. But yeah, to me, that's I always said like my life goal is to have 100,000 fans that in their lifetime would spend $100 on me.
100,000. That will. How much does that come out to?
$10 million.
10 million. Okay.
So meaning like whether it's
100,000 fans,
whether it's merch, whether it's show, whether it's whatever, like that. If they did that kind of, that's my goal. In terms of, I'm not gonna see $100,000 or $10,000
upfront,
$10 million, right? But then that is, and it's a huge number. But I don't think it's an impossible number.
Yeah.
You know
I mean,
what I mean?
over time. And plus, that's smart. That's a good way to start.
Yeah.
I mean, you should think of it as a business. For me, for a long time, that was like the downfall of a lot of my decisions.
Right.
Like I based too much on the art of it and not the business of it. And I regret it all the time.
So a little segue into art and business. I watched this YouTube docu-series called, I think it's called This Is Pop. Right? And
Yeah.
And then the first episode was about Boyz II Men.
Yeah.
And I, when I was younger, was a huge fan of Boyz II Men.
Sure, yeah.
Right? And so it basically, I mean, you guys should just check it out, but they were like the first kind of like R&B group that at the time, like there's R&B groups like New Edition and Jodeci and like,
before Boyz II Men.
Yeah. And then they were more like kind of kind of more sexier, more urban.
Yeah, like Bobby Brown.
Yeah.
Johnny Gill.
Right. And
right?
then
I like that.
And then they have then
Tevin Campbell.
Can we talk for a minute? No, but then so Boyz II Men, when they came out, like they made them dress in like bow ties and like clean cut, and it got to a point where not only did the black community like Boyz II Men, but they crossed over immediately to the white community. You know what I mean? And so like their first few albums were like crazy hits. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, they were untouchable.
End of the Road was like a song that like just crushed it. It was everywhere, right?
How do I?
But as their popularity started, like they're touring all over the world, making decent amount of money. Some basically, I don't want to say record agents or whatever, but basically some people were like, we're going to make the next Boyz II Men, but make them white.
Yeah.
Right? And then, so they made Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, 98 Degrees, and those people, right?
That's how that all started.
And it turns out that these girls in Middle America didn't put Boyz II Men posters on their walls, but they put NSYNC and Backstreet Boys posters on their walls, right? Okay. And eventually, like Boyz II Men couldn't adapt. They basically, their main fan base was headed toward the white people.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Speaking of which, there's another documentary about the boy band, especially the guy Lou Pearlman. Yeah, he was a guy that was supposed to be, he made Backstreet Boys or whatever, but he's like a fucking crazy fraud.
Oh, really?
You don't know his story?
I've heard his name before. But
so like he basically was like a weird Ponzi scheme that he ran, but he also like poured in a lot of money to create Backstreet Boys and NSYNC and O-Town and a bunch of shit. But eventually what happened was like through shady accounting and whatever, he did not fully pay, or he did not pay the boys what they thought they were going to get paid. So they were like, they were like, all right, okay, well, you know, you just got platinum and let's go out and celebrate. And, you know, it's time, let's talk about your bonus checks. Give him $10,000.
Oh, man.
Right. You know what I mean?
Probably for them was probably a lot of money.
Well, yeah, but then like if you sell $1 million,
$10,000 check.
No, but if you're going like if you're selling like, you know, a million albums,
somebody's
and
gonna raise some eyebrows.
And you know, like the basically in the contract, you know, all the money we put into you needs to get recouped.
Yeah, all that.
Right.
That basically.
Anyway, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But so Boyz II Men now, you know, I don't know if they still have it, but you know, had a residency at the Orleans hotel in Vegas.
Oh yeah,
right?
Oh like
you see them here every now and again.
Yeah, they come to Korea.
Him and them and Brian McKnight come. You know, and so obviously, if you look at it one way, it's sad because they were like global phenomenon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But now they're kind of like just a blast from the past.
Yeah, I mean, I think we talked about this before, but like that whole, a lot of the pioneers of most industries, they suffered that same kind of fate. You know, like the OGs of the hip hop world, they're still living in, you know, the projects and stuff like that. So, a lot of people would say a similar thing happened with Eminem becoming so popular. You know, when he did, you know, he became the biggest rapper in the world.
Right.
But I mean, like he obviously had not just, but he actually had fans from both sides of, or if we're just calling it two sides, that's ridiculous. Yes. But you know, like thankfully he had respect from his idols. I mean, his heroes and his peers. So, I wonder what Boyz II Men and what their relationship was like with 98 Degrees and, you know, the Justin Timberlakes and those guys. I wonder if they have a good relationship now, or if they know each other, or if they've ever thrown shade at each other, or if, you know, If there's ever been,
R&B soul beef. You know how like there's hip hop beef, but it's like, you know how like they make diss tracks, but I wonder if like these like R&B like boy bands have like diss ballads. I don't know what you call them. Like,
oh yeah.
How do I say fuck you? So I was thinking about like because I haven't thought about Boyz II Men in such a long time, right? Until I watched the episode. I was thinking the Mount Rushmore of music in your life.
Oh man.
So whatever like your sound, like something that kind of, and it obviously like we can go like one like one off. So like Boyz II Men out the gate, right?
Yeah.
Surprisingly, I listened to hip hop, or I got into hip hop a little later, especially where I'm from, right?
Yeah.
The first pop song, the Koreans call it pop song, but the first it's a pop song. The first song I've ever American song I ever heard was Michael Jackson's "Bad."
Americans call that pop songs.
Yeah. No, but in Korea, you go to noraebang, pop song, it just means English.
Oh, okay.
Right. That's why. Michael Jackson's "Bad" was the first English song I heard, and and I saw the video too, so that resonates in my head. Like, so Michael Jackson is in my Mount Rushmore.
I would say the same for me. Like I was a huge Michael Jackson fan. I remember I was in the 3rd grade when I really was into him. 3rd, 4th grade.
When the Jackson 5 was out?
Fuck you, man. Yo, what you know about Tito and
Jermaine?
Oh man, dude, that's when Moonwalker came out. You remember Moonwalker?
Yes.
And oh man, I have like videos. I remember seeing video of myself trying to dance like Michael Jackson, and it's bad. Like not bad. It's not Michael Jackson.
Hey man,
bad. It's like
we need help trying to YPP my channel.
If I can find it, I can't. I don't have it. My neighbor had it. Like one time, my neighbor's dad used to VHS record like us doing our Michael Jackson spiel.
Yeah.
And I remember he was really talented, really, and then but I would do the same motions and grab my crotch and all that stuff. But I remember going to visit one time when I was an adult, and they pulled that out, and I was like, "Oh my god, burn that, please!"
Yo, I mean, you don't have to stand up, but from your seated position, can you show me like how?
I can moonwalk though. I can moonwalk.
All right,
this not like great.
This is an addendum to.
I'm not gonna do it. Screw that.
Yo, man, you say you can moonwalk. You think people in this are listeners?
You know how it was just he just does like a thing. I used to like grab underneath and just like pull out like that shit. So, but yo, man, I used to. I had an Indiana Jones hat of my brother's that I used to throw around the room all the time because like.
So is Michael Jackson like a Mount Rushmore of singers in your life?
I mean, impact wise, like like I whenever although it's tainted now because of all this
other shit that he's done.
It hasn't been really different in Korea. I feel like I still hear music all the time. But for me, like it's the Beatles is definitely on my Mount Rushmore.
I listened to Beatles a lot later in life. Like shockingly later in life.
Like recently.
Well, that's really shocking. Like senior year of high school.
Oh, okay. Actually, I got into the Beatles even after high school. I was more into the Beatles probably, although I did have like respect for them, but like after college for me. In college, I got into like Bob Dylan and Simon and Garfunkel. Like that's why I became a singer-songwriter because of other singer-songwriters.
Right.
You know, as like for the Beatles, I really loved John Lennon as a songwriter. And so, but as a pop group, classic pop tunes, and I think the Beatles are up there for me. It's one of those it's one of those artists and groups that I have to make sure my kids know it. Benji's 2 or 3 albums like inside and out.
So Benji's gonna listen to the Beatles. Will Benji also listen to Michael Jackson?
We'll see.
If you are the DJ to this dude's life.
I already made a Spotify playlist for the kids, and I put Jackson 5 on there. I put ABC on there, but I haven't put anything else. I'm kind of working my way from like, you know, the 60s right now, music from the 60s, and I haven't. There's no music from the 80s on that list.
No, I'll Be There. Jackson 5?
I don't know. Right now, I'm just trying to put one song per artist. And so I have a lot of different kinds of artists on there. So.
All right. So you and Beatles. Beatles were going to be it.
Yeah.
I, for a long time, and maybe just call me like a hacky West Coast kid, but was extremely fixated on Tupac.
Tupac?
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think a lot of West Coast kids think that's hacky, and yeah, it is. But like,
do they think that?
Well, non-West Coast kids definitely. You know,
I heard that really Snoop Dogg was more influential, like than Tupac.
Yeah.
I had heard that,
but I think it's because like there's a Tupac song called "Dear Mama."
Oh,
and
yeah.
It plays on it played on the radio.
Yeah.
And my mom hates hip hop. Right? And then like she doesn't speak English well.
Yeah.
But you know, like she could tell he's rapping to his mom. Like a 편지, dear mama, right? So he goes, 이거는 야 착하다, 이거는 괜찮다, 얘 누구야?
Oh yeah. Oh, wow.
Right? So she let me. So like, you know, if I'm listening to a Tupac like album or whatever, he's like, yeah, what the fuck is this? 그 엄마 편지 쓰네.
Oh man, okay.
Right.
Okay.
So Tupac was very he's hit in my Mount Rushmore of my life. Music.
Like you had all his albums and things like that. Okay. My turn? I would have to say one of the most influential artists that I owned every single thing he ever made up to the point where I abandoned his music was an artist by the name of Stephen Curtis Chapman.
I don't know what that is.
So he's a Christian CCM artist, Christian contemporary music, right? And in high school, a big reason why I got into finger picking is because of this artist. And at one point I could only listen to Christian music because of, I wasn't allowed to listen to secular music.
Secular music. Yeah.
So I went through a stretch of just Christian music and he was the guy for me. There was either you like Stephen Curtis Chapman or Amy Grant or Michael W. Smith. There were like some people that like.
So they were like the top 3.
Yeah, there's
were
a lot more. I could name a lot more.
But was this dude like in that world?
Yeah, he was
like the Michael Jordan.
Yeah,
like
in my opinion,
the best.
Yeah, he was one of the at least at the time when I was like learning guitar. I had learned his songs on guitar, and people at like my age that were learning how to play the guitar, it was a big deal.
Wow.
That I could play. Like he had this song that people sang at weddings all the time called "I Will Be Here," and I could play that on guitar. And it's not easy to do, but that's how serious I was about like becoming a guitar player. I would play. Back then it was tapes, right? So I would learn how to play guitar by listening to his music, and I would press play, hit rewind, like over and over and over until I could figure out all the pieces to play his songs.
Because back then there wasn't like, what do you call it, sheet music or whatever?
No, there was no tablature, nothing like that. And so it was literally, I learned by cassette tapes.
Oh shit.
And so even when CDs came out, I didn't really use CDs because it skipped easy and like I couldn't like get to the spot that I wanted to.
Right.
And tape players were just so much easier to navigate to where you wanted to go because you knew. Remember when you hit rewind? 1, 2, 3. That's like 15 seconds right there of a song or something like that. So we would work it out that way. And but if it weren't for Stephen Curtis Chapman, my guitar skills would be not as great, I think.
But you said that you abandoned him.
Yeah, because in college I renounced Christianity at one point, and I was just like, this music is like corny. I thought it was corny. Lately, I listen to it again because I'm listening to some music that I was influenced by, like Stephen Curtis Chapman, and it's still good. It's like really good, well written music, And so I was a huge Stephen Curtis Chapman fan. I remember I took the bus, a Greyhound, all the way to Boston when I was a sophomore in high school.
Oh.
From New York.
Right.
Like I had to go to Port Authority, get on a bus, and went all the way to Worcester, Massachusetts, because he was playing there, and my brother got tickets for me.
Nice.
So yeah, it was a big deal for me. Big ups to Stephen Curtis Chapman in my life. He was a big influence. He's definitely deserves the props on my Mount Rushmore of artists. Who's next for you? So right now you have Tupac, you have Boyz II Men. We'll give you two more, right?
The Beatles. Yeah.
The Beatles? Yeah, right. Okay.
This is not...
One more?
This one definitely isn't... I don't know why this gets stuck in my head. This group, nobody knows, right? And it is not in my Mount Rushmore.
Okay, but you want to...
But the reason why I bring it up is because every now and again, I like this song alone, I can't stop thinking about it.
Okay.
Right?
Like a one-hit wonder or like just the song that, okay.
I don't even know if it was actually a hit.
Okay.
Right? But the backstory is, the song, the group is called Voices of Theory.
Voices of Theory.
The song is called Tell Me. Right? Now, the reason why I bring this up...
I think I know this song. Okay, keep going.
The reason why I bring it up is because in high school, during Spanish class, our stupid teacher would make us memorize a song in Spanish.
Oh, okay.
And sing it.
In Spanish as well?
In Spanish.
Holy
in
shit.
Class.
Okay, that's no easy feat.
And like, I was like, which one? And then I was like, what's this? I've never heard of Voices of Theory in my life, right? And it's like kind of like a knockoff, like Boyz II Men type of like 4-person harmony a cappella group, right? Yeah. So I remember I had to memorize this song and I can't sing. And I painfully sang that shit in class.
Oh man, I wish we had like video of it.
Yeah. You and your moonwalk and my yo quiero que tú me digas. Necesito que me lo digas.
Wait, did you pick that song, but you had to translate it to Spanish?
Yeah, it was like, it's in English.
In English, yeah.
But then I think they also sang the Spanish version of it too.
Oh, they had one.
So I was like, all right, I'm not gonna translate this, right?
Yeah. So okay. Oh man.
So that's why it's not in my Mount Rushmore, but like we've
nostalgia.
We've discussed this as evil kick moments. Right?
Yeah.
I'm kicking that blanket way the fuck off me.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah. So yeah, Voices of Theory. Tell me, dímelo. But let's see, a musician that I like, part of my life. It's a Korean singer. It's because my father used to play all the time.
Oh, like even older.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna go like
BTS.
Sungtae or
No,
something.
no.
Sungtae or
I like I'm from that generation, but I never listened to Korean music like that.
okay, yeah. Neither did
yeah.
I. So
But
who Choy Pil?
there was a lot of Cho Young-pil in my dad's car, but Kim Hyun-sik.
I don't know who that is, but I'm gonna check it out for dad like them.
Yeah, it's kind of I would say ballady, folky.
Guy?
Yeah,
Girl? Okay, guy.
yeah, and a lot of Cho Young-pil. Right?
Okay.
Yeah,
I get Choy Pil.
Yeah.
He's like the Bob Dylan of Korea, apparently, or the Elvis.
but to
Not
me,
in swagger, but
to me,
like
Bob Dylan.
popularity.
There's a guy named Kim Kwang-seok. That's kind of more
Okay.
like the
I've
Bob
heard his
Dylan,
name.
right?
Okay.
Yeah. What about you?
Who do I have? Stephen Curtis Chapman. I had the Beatles and Michael Jackson, right?
You got one more.
Okay. One more. Oh, geez. It's really tough, man. A guilty pleasure, I guess. I'll bring up a guilty pleasure.
No.
I remember when Ace of Base, the sign came out.
Really?
I think I was in high school or something, or junior high school.
No, I was in
Junior
high
high
school. So
Oh, okay.
you must have been in like adult.
Dude, that song came out like
96, I think. Yeah.
oh my gosh, like I was like embarrassedly like I would wait back then. I couldn't just I think I just waited for it to play on the radio because it played like every 20 minutes somewhere.
I saw the sign.
Yeah.
That opened up your eyes. I saw the sign. but like
That-
let's say you were in a room. Let's go back to 1996. Right?
Yeah.
Now you and some friends are in a room, like
Yeah.
doing whatever. Radio's on.
I think it was before 96. I think it was like 94.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
whenever
Anyway,
it was, right?
Yeah.
You're in a setting with a handful of your friends.
Yeah.
Right. Radio's on.
Yeah.
You guys are talking, and then
Yeah.
your jam comes on. Ace of Base.
Well, first of all,
Like-
I didn't have friends back
How do
then,
you
so it was just-
how do you like stop your shoulder and your heart from feeling the song? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I remember I did have some friends that we collectively loved the song together. So
Okay.
we kept like waiting, and then we did record it on tape. And also it's hard to get a recording of a song that's just completely just a song. There's always the DJ. And this week's number one song is The Sign again. Like so, no surprises here. So I remember my friend Sammy Kwan and his brother Andy Kwan. I used to go over their house
and just Ace of Base.
and it just wait for Ace of Base to come on the radio. My friend Andy, he's one of our buddies that passed away. But yeah, I had a lot of fun. Like we all play guitar together too. I remember that was our thing too. Like we teach each other how to play guitar. Andy played the drums.
Do you know how to play the sign on the guitar? Is it possible?
I can play the sign.
That's awesome. Hey man, I told you about fucking Voices of Theory, dímelo.
I think they had the sign in Spanish too. It was
really?
such a big hit.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, if only we could translate it to Korean.
I'm trying to think if there's a one hit wonder that I saw. Oh, there's a song that most people in my life don't know exists, right? But
Okay. What's the
and I only listen to it. I'm only in the mood for it in the summertime.
Can you play it in a norebang?
No.
Oh no.
Yeah.
It's not one of those.
No, it's not that big.
Okay.
I think it was a very West Coast like hip hop thing.
Okay.
It's called Summertime in the LBC by Dove Shack.
Dove. I don't know this one. I gotta look this one up.
But like it's like summertime, nice weather, cruising music.
In the LBC,
Yeah.
it's not hip hop.
It is hip hop.
Oh, it is hip hop.
Yeah.
Okay. but a cruising hip hop.
Like yeah, it's like talking about having barbecues in the summertime in Long Beach.
Okay.
Really, it's not like earth-shattering lyrics, but like that's
like
another...
Will Smith Summertime. It's like that kind of groove.
I prefer Summertime in the LBC.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Will Smith is hack.
Oh, come on, man. Dude, I like Will Smith too.
Parents just don't understand. Yeah. So,
Okay.
And then recently,
I can't believe Ace of Base made my version about money. Go ahead, but you put something just as ridiculous in there. Okay.
Yeah. So recently though, like it's weird. Like I've been listening to 36 Chambers Wu-Tang like on repeat.
Okay. I don't. Yeah. I mean, like I have much respect for the Wu-Tang Clan, but I don't know that one. I'm sorry.
Because I was always, well, it's the first album, but like the thing that, because I was interested about this one album, the most recent album that only one person could buy.
Oh yeah.
They auctioned off.
Yeah.
Or
what
whatever.
was that guy's name? I don't even.
And he's a fucking asshole that bought the diabetes medicine and fucking like shot it up, right?
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, like, but just the idea, like, you sold one album that he can play for people but cannot distribute for 88 years.
Oh yeah.
Or whenever it becomes, whatever that time passes before, you know what I mean? It becomes like classical music or some shit.
Right.
So yeah.
Man, this was a fun episode.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we never. I would never think that you would have brought up, hey, let's talk about music in this way.
Mm.
And I actually, I could talk about music just till I'm blue in the face. So,
but you know,
anytime I wanna
like,
talk,
but it's always like I, you know, for me, I'm not well versed in music. Like I don't like, it wasn't ever. I had to go search for it.
Okay.
It never really made me like. No one's ever kind of been like, "Shibar 음악 들어, 음악 좋은 거야,"
yeah.
right? Like obviously.
Oh, this is gonna change your life, Danny. None of that.
Yeah,
No, you
none of
have no one
that,
like
right?
that in your
And
life.
if anyone says anything's gonna change my life, I go, "미친놈," and fucking go the other way, right?
I just had like pastors say that to me.
Right.
I'm like, oh my gosh, this Keith Green album is gonna blow your mind away.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, so I had to like search for it, and then like, you know, me being in East LA, right?
Yeah.
There was 3 forms of music that the neighborhood played, right?
Okay.
One form was that like banda mariachi like
Okay.
music, which is
Right.
you know, the
Yeah.
that kind of music, right? And then the other thing was like hip hop.
Mhm.
But like West Coast hip hop, like fucking, what do you call it? Like Cypress Hill, like, you know, that type of shit.
Yeah. Mhm.
And then there was a small group of Mexican fools that listened to Morrissey.
Oh yeah, I've heard about this.
Yes.
I think we
Yes.
briefly touched on this.
Yeah. The Smiths.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he's like he's like a legend to an honorary Mexican.
Yes.
Right,
Yeah.
Morrissey.
Yeah.
They believe that he sings for the lyrics, the feel of it is
For la raza.
yeah. I think that's beautiful.
And then there's like a very
Interesting
tiny
connection.
group that
Beautiful
love like that hardcore metal shit. Like suicidal tendencies, and
okay.
like those types of fools, right? But then, so the big group was the you know, motherfuckers, and then there's the hip hop scene, yeah, which my parents were like, they didn't like me. Like, I had an aversion to that kind of music when I was younger, is because when my neighbors had a birthday party for their 4-year-old son, right? They would rent speakers the size of like this cabinet right here.
Yeah.
Right?
Those big speakers, outdoor speakers.
Like 4 or 5 of them, right?
Yeah.
And then they'll point them, and they're pointed to our house,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
The kid's 4 years old, and they're having a birthday party till 3 a.m. and nonstop,
Yeah.
you know?
Oh man. Well, I mean, for me, hip hop was like I was surrounded by it as well, but I never really got into it because, you know, most of the hip hop that I was exposed to was through Pedro, right? To Peter, and him and I, we just couldn't be more different.
Yeah.
And so I would always just like stick to my Christian music. Although he was into it too, to a certain extent, right? But he also was very, loyal to hip hop and like, and those, like.
He still is, man.
Yeah. I mean, like, but anything I do know about hip hop and the Wu-Tang Clan and all those, like East Coast hip hop for the most part, like I know because of Peter used to watch The Box at my house after school. And yeah, I'd be exposed to like, all of that back then, but I was always, I know you're looking something up. You're going to play something?
Yeah.
Are you going to play?
There's a correction to the Voices of Theory song. It is actually not Tell Me. It's called Say It.
Oh, okay.
Spanish is Dímelo. That I was right.
Okay.
Right. That's what I was.
Let's end the show with this because we're about an hour and 10 minutes.
Right. Hold on, let me get past the. I'm too cheap to pay for the fucking.
You premium?
Yeah.
Oh no. Well.
Here we go. This is a Spanish version of it. Now imagine me singing all this in Spanish in class.
You sang this part too? Oh, come on, man. I want to. Oh. Oh, man. All right. Content and ID right there.
Dude,
you sang this?
Yes.
Nice. Yes. Oh, nice. Well, maybe
yes.
You can close out the show with a bit of a cappella first. No? So next week we're coming back, right?
Yeah.
Next week you have a show this weekend? Next weekend.
We're performing
I'm gonna try to go to
every other week. So
yeah, I'm gonna try to go to that because
you want to sing about?
We can hang out after.
Yeah,
right?
we can.
Yeah. All right, y'all.
All right, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye bye. Saranghaeyo.